Hello, hey guys. Okay, I'm just going to do a couple of tech things while hopefully some people join me live. Comments will appear here, so let's hope I get comments this time. Okay, just going to refresh my page here. I'm going to try and share it over onto my personal page as well. So let's see if we are getting a notification here. La-di-da-di-da. I'll get to my posts in a minute, maybe. There we go. Okay, let's see if I can share this live. Share. I don't want to share on a page I manage. Okay, how do I get over there? Bugger. Okay, maybe I can't share it. Bugger, poop bum. Anyway, hi guys. Okay, I'm just going to turn that off so I can't hear myself. How are you? So, this is my second Wellness Wisdom for Wednesdays. Yay! So today we're going to be talking about pleasure for healing and pain relief. So on my journey, I really connected with, hello, somebody, I can see somebody's there. I'm just going to see if I go hi. If I'll start to get some comments come up. So just say hi if you're on, because I can't see who it is. So pleasure. So on my healing journey, what I found is we were talking a little bit about pain last week, and I wanted to continue on the conversation and talk about pleasure. So the pathways of pain in our bodies. Hello, Amanda. Mwah! So lovely to have you join me live. That's pretty cool. Hope you're feeling pretty okay today. It's been intense. We've had lots and lots of stuff shifting today and activating last night and today, and lots through our heart centers. So yeah, hope you're doing well through it all. Anyway, so our pleasure and our pain pathways are actually one and the same in our bodies. So we are either feeling pain or pleasure, but never both at the same time. And so you can really work with this. So if you are experiencing any pain in your body, working on bringing pleasure into your body and feeling pleasure can actually help with the pain relief. So for me, what I found out is having an amazing, beautiful orgasm when making love to my husband would give me about 3 days of pain relief. So that's pretty impressive. And not only that, you feel glorious and you feel good and all of that sort of thing. So another thing that happens with pleasure when we release pleasure in our bodies is that it releases nitric oxide. It's not the one that's in the car to make cars go faster. It's the other one. I'm sure it's nitric oxide. And that also helps to... It releases all the good hormones in our body, but it also helps to heal our body and to bring everything into balance. You know, we're designed to be... Thanks, Leanne. Hi. Hey, I've got a few of you on. I can't actually see who, so if you want to say hello and let me know, please do. Thanks, Leanne. I always get it mixed up with the other one. No, sweetie, Kelly, this is free. This is just talking about wellness to help lift the health and well-being of the planet up so that we can all move to a higher level of that. Yes, tuning forks. I think a lot of sound healing does. I know my body has really craved sound healing while it's been healing. It's so powerful and yet so gentle. Yeah, so all those pleasure pathways get activated. It releases the nitric oxide, it releases all the feel-good hormones, and your body is able to, it puts it into a healing space, puts it into health and well-being. And if you think of when I've done some courses and tune into the body, all its systems have different frequencies. And it's like, if it's all running harmoniously, it's like listening to a symphony. It's beautifully harmonious and melodic. I think that's a really good word. I think that's how you say it. But when one bit is out, it's like really out of tune and mucks up the whole symphony. So using pleasure helps to bring the body into that harmonious state. And like Leanne's put, tuning forks, yes, and sound healing, all of those things. So one of the ways that I wanted to talk about with pleasure, so pleasure can be anything that makes you feel pleasure in your body. So for all of us, that'll be different. For some of us, it'll be a bath, and some of us don't like baths. Some of us, it might be immersing your feet in the sand at the beach. And for some people, that's the most awful feeling in the world. For some, it might be sitting out under a tree, and for others, that just might not do it. When you are connecting, another great way is connecting to your skin. So if you are just gently, lovingly, and the idea is you need to be sending love to your body and focusing on that love and pleasure for it to happen, but just gently touching your skin all over you really helps to activate those pleasure pathways. So often we don't even touch ourselves, you know, and we rely on other people, partners and loved ones to help with that process. Not that there's anything wrong with that, getting some love from others, but it is really nice to do it for ourselves too. Massage, any of those beautiful modalities can help with that. And I think the flow just stopped. I'm like, okay, guys, that was cool. Okay. So has anybody got any questions about the pleasure and pain pathways and using pleasure more in your life? So even if you haven't got pain, even if it's just to feel better, you know, like... I'm going to visit my daughter in Perth next week, and she... I love it. She's like messaging me really angry going, I can tell you're coming to stay. The house has gone nuts with spiders everywhere. So I love that. I love that, Leanne. That's awesome. Yeah, so I've lost my train of thought. Now I'm thinking about the spider. Okay. Laughter. Laughter is a great form of medicine. So watching some funny movies, you know, look at what we do when we go through heartache and heartbreak. You know, we watch these, you know, soppy romantic movies full of all heartbreak, and then we move towards some comedies and some lightheartedness and that laughter, getting together with... There is a fine line between pleasure and pain, Leanne. There is. That's that fine line. They're the same pathways in the body. So, yeah, when we get together with friends and we're laughing and having a beautiful time, that can really, really boost our health and well-being. Another thing to remember as well is that we have this amazing thing. A big cry does help. It's a beautiful release, Callie. Yeah. Yep. And then that can help shift those emotions to moving into feeling good and joy and happiness and pleasure. Now, I was just talking about something else. I'm getting lost today, big time. Another thing just dropped in about pleasure. Okay, I wanted to talk about, yes, the depth of pleasure that we experience in our society is very limited a lot of the time. Many of us rely on a block of chocolate for that. And when we think of pleasure, it's like, let's deepen that so that we are being nourished fully. So when we're going for things like chocolate, they can be nourishing and bring us pleasure on a certain level, but they're not deeply nourishing and deeply pleasurable. You know, I wonder how many of us would actually eat as much chocolate as we do if we had more orgasms. Just a thought. I think the whole world would be a lot happier if we did. So there is a deepening that we need to go on to connect to deeper levels of pleasure in our lives and our bodies. You know, that can tie into our dreams and our desires and our goals of what we want. You know, for some people, that pleasure might come from a shopping spree, and it only lasts for, you know, a certain amount of time. And then you may experience, as you deepen your pleasure, receiving, say it's a second-hand piece of furniture or clothing that you just love, that you feel such a connection with, and every time you see it and every time you wear it, it brings you joy. That's a deepening of that pleasure. So we want to practice that more in our lives and take our pleasure deeper and more so. One way to practice that is with like a tantric practice, and each person will find their own way of doing that. That can be a really great, easy way to take you, or quick way to take you into deepening your pleasure. But it doesn't have to be in that way. Kelly, your car makes you happy. See, and sometimes it's not, you know, like I love my car. Every time I get in it, it just brings me joy. It makes me feel safe. I feel luxurious in it. Like, it's the first car I've had with leather seats, and I just like go, oh, I love it. I love it. I really do. I think I will be even more filled with pleasure when we have transport that doesn't hurt the planet. So that is my, you know, one of my deepest desires. Is that we have these beautiful ways of supporting ourselves without hurting the planet. So that's my next level. But at the moment, I'm really, really enjoying my car. And I know you got a new one recently, Kelly, so I'm glad it makes you happy, especially when we're driving in it all the time. Yes, and a sunroof. I love it. Oh, cooking. Yes. Do you know, like, I'm really, because I haven't been able to cook for a while, for a long time, making me a bit emotional here, Leanne. I love how you're like straight to the point. It's beautiful. Straight to the little like bit that's like niggly there and needs to be shifted. Yeah, like for a while I couldn't cook. I couldn't prepare my meals, and I've had to rely on Chris and the kids. And Chris's cooking skills are basic. I'm very, very grateful. Thanks, Leanne. But they are limited, and he is very logical. So he can follow a recipe, but there's not a lot of magic in it. And so I've found that I've really, really enjoyed being able to cook when I'm up for it, and really enjoying immersing myself in the magic of that and the nourishing of that. So yeah, definitely finding those little pleasures in our life and doing them more. You know, how often do we do all these things that we have to do, that, you know, we're not always really wanting to do? And you know, if we just took some time to go, actually, we really, really find pleasure in going for a bushwalk or going for a swim in the ocean. Yes, energy exchange at its easiest, definitely, Leanne. I'm also finding I'm really enjoying the connection with the food. So even as you're preparing the food, and whether it's growing the food or buying the food, the whole process of connecting to it before it even gets to my body is amazing. It's beautiful. what other pleasurable things? So if you guys have got anything else that brings you pleasure, feel free to share. Some of the things I really like are, yeah, thought you might get that, Leanne. You know, just journal writing, taking that time for myself. You know, I really, really find that pleasurable. Sometimes I find my yoga practice and my meditation practice pleasurable. Sometimes I actually, do you know something I really, really enjoy that I was speaking to a beautiful friend the other day, and she enjoys this too, is going out and picking roses and putting them in a vase in my house. I just love that. Singing really loud, yes. Singing is so good for our bodies. Like, it clears our throat chakras. It helps us to express. It's fantastic. Although my kids don't enjoy me doing that so much, especially like today it was mantras and I was getting a little bit of, you know, some weird looks from the kids. So I think that's, I can't remember what the other thing was that I wanted to speak about pleasure. There was the deepening of pleasure. There's a, yeah, connecting more, adding more pleasurable things into your day. Oh, that's beautiful. I get to see her, I'm sure, on Monday. So at the funeral. So that'd be lovely to see Annalise then. Yes, my hair is back. I'm so grateful. I actually got some dreadlock extensions from a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. And so you can sort of see mine's the darker bit, probably to there, I think. And the rest, and I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. They've started to feel like mine now, whereas when I first got them, I could feel his energy in them. And I was a little bit unsure how I would go with it, but yeah, I'm loving them. Thanks, Leanne. Yes, yes, letting yourself feel the pleasure without guilt. Yeah, I think that takes practice, you know, like we've been so conditioned. Thank you. So conditioned to feel guilt over pleasure, you know, and I've noticed for me, and when I've talked to a few other people, that even when it comes to orgasms, you know, like we often come from a very masculine view of sex, and we don't always relax and take our time, especially if you've had kids. That can be a bit of an interruption to just even the time. I know, especially with teenage kids, I'm like, everybody just go to bed so I can have sex. Stop it. Because there's just not that same amount of time and to just relax and be in that. So I think even our, when it comes to what we think of as pleasure, can be quite, and when I say masculine, I mean sort of very goal-orientated rather than pleasure-orientated. The sex or sleep debate. Yes. Yes, I love that. I love that. Or let me sleep for an hour and then wake me up. Yeah. So I think we need to really look at pleasure as really important in our lives, so important for our health. Like, I know living with, having to live with a chronic illness for a little while, and healing from it, still trying to find words around that. So much wording is based on always being sick and ill. When you come to this sort of thing. So healing through this journey, I've noticed that there is a lack of focus on pleasure because you're really not feeling up to it. And so you have to really work at just the little things that you can bring in to really help support your body. And we don't value it enough. We don't value it, what it can bring us and the light it can bring us and the happiness it can bring us and the happiness to everyone around us when we're feeling that way. I love that, Kelly. Kelly says sleep wins a lot and she loves sleeping, and that's very pleasurable for her. Yes, for me too. Sleep is one of my pleasures as well. My bed is one of my pleasures. And I don't mind it being that. For some, I've talked to some people, and like my husband, their pleasure is doing and really doing lots in their life, and they feel really pleasurable when they're doing lots, but that's not me. I'm opposite, and that's okay. And I had that thing drop in just then. Okay, we're talking about sleep, talking about pleasure. Oh, the limbic resonance. That's the other thing. Whoa, thank you. Sorry, guys. There is stuff happening today. I'm probably not letting myself channel fully. It's always a little, when I feel a little bit resistant to that, I find that it doesn't flow as well. And I don't remember things. Anyway, so limbic resonance. So when we are feeling pleasure, it really, really activates that in everybody around us. I don't know if you've noticed that if you're with somebody who's really in their pleasure and really owns it. Thanks, Leanne. That everybody feels it around them. Everybody starts to feel that pleasure and feel good about themselves. And that's limbic resonance, and it is really powerful. It's really powerful between women. Super, super powerful. And this is what causes us to sync our cycles and things when we've been around each other a while. But it's also a really, really powerful way of sharing that pleasure. And what I find is when a woman is in her pleasure, this is another thing, it orientates the masculine as well. And the masculine steps up into it's divinity. You know, the man wants to then be part of that, and he sort of, comes up into his king self when that happens. So the more that we can be that, yeah, I am. I think, Leanne, channeling super fast. It seems to be dropping in really quick, and then it's gone out of my head, and I can't get it out quick enough. Social conditioning sometimes make my first response to be negative about it, make fun of that person. Isn't that interesting, Kelly? That's a really, really interesting point to bring up. That's one way we can sort of see how we feel about pleasure in our lives and about being that. I know that when we do that in a room with other women, if she's feeling really sexy, some woman comes in, she's feeling really sexy, really beautiful, really in herself, how many of us sort of start to go, oh, look at her. We have this bouncing off her because we're not feeling it in ourselves. Whereas if we practice going, wow, look at her, that's fantastic, and we open ourselves up, we can actually allow ourselves to receive from her just her natural outward flow. And so that can be something to work on with receiving and giving. If we're not able to receive her beauty and receive her sexiness and receive her pleasure just by being near her, it's like, what's going on for us? Jealous bitchiness. Yeah. And that can come from because we don't think we're that. And the truth is we're all basic pleasurable beings, especially women. Like, we have a freaking clitoris. It's just designed just for pleasure. Like, men don't have an organ just for pleasure. Hey, Petter. Oh, it's so gorgeous to see you on here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm feeling I'm right opposite my window here, so I've got lots of light. I'm like, oh, my face is so red on the live stream. And I haven't got any makeup on, but that's okay. You get raw. So lovely to have you on here. So, yeah, like maybe we don't feel like we can be that pleasurable. And it's up to us to sort of start changing those rules, I think, and bring some of that in. Okay. Anybody got any more questions? I'm so grateful for you guys to join live. It's so nice to have people on chatting. It's awesome. Okay. Thanks, Petter. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Not sure what your yes is for, Leanne. Oh, that's all right, Petter. We were just talking about pleasure. And it's been a bit of an interesting one. Yeah. Pleasure and pain relief and bringing more pleasure into your life to heal and to lift your levels of well-being. So it's been great. You can catch it on replay. Okay. Well, I think that might be it. Oh, yes, I would love to work with more people. That's my next sort of erotic edge. Yes, definitely, Leanne, is to help people with chronic illness or chronic pain, to help them move through it. So a lot of my work is obviously more shamanic and energetic, but working with all these tools to help them in a more natural way that is aligned with their body. So my focus is to find ways that serve them, and to switch us from the old paradigm, the old thinking around pain and illness, and even our idea of health. You know, we're going through so much up-leveling and upgrades that we are experiencing and starting to see, you know, the glass ceiling that we had on our level of health, and the disconnection from our bodies that we've had. I know for you, Leanne, like, you started working out and stuff, and it's like so good that we're getting back into our bodies, because so easy, I know for me it's so easy to be in that spirit realm, because hey, it's so much nicer sometimes, but coming back into the body and increasing those levels of health and well-being. So I'd love to, my vision is to help shift that paradigm on the planet from the old way that's a little bit limited, that is outside of ourselves. So everything we look for is outside of ourselves. We need somebody to help us do that, or tell us what we need, when we've got a lot of it within ourselves. Like, it's actually our own body's healing, and we just need some support for it to help with that, to get it to that level. So yeah, workshops, that is coming. I'm doing an online one at the moment, and that's going really, really well. And I love that platform. I'm not able to get to a physical place. And also because my energy is still a little unsure. So the actual physical running of a workshop and holding space, when you've got to physically set up and get that sorted, still a little bit iffy. So I'm working on it. Yeah, but I'd love to, Leanne, if she is interested, I would love to help her out and see what we can do. Connection. Well, there you guys go. Thank you, Peta. So Peta loves vision. Awesome work, gorgeous. Thank you. And Leanne, oh, since I've been exercising, feeling so much better, needed the matter to move. Literally, the mind finally said yes. Awesome. Awesome. I'm so glad you're feeling better with it. It's really great to get our bodies moving. Yeah. I miss being able to do more of it. I went into the Kundalini yoga class with Michelle Burns. So all of you guys, I'm going to do a plug on here because it was really beautiful. And just here in Wollonga, behind the Green Room, which is one of my favourite cafes now. And they have a beautiful little yoga studio there now. And so I attended the Kundalini yoga class, and it's my first class that I've attended for a long time, and it was lovely that it was only a few people, so it wasn't overwhelming. But oh my gosh, I really noticed, like, it was, you know, you think of it being easy because you're doing a lot of on the floor stuff, but it was powerful, and it brought up a little bit of my stuff. So yeah, it was great. So I'm plugging Michelle's class. For anybody in the area. She's got a few going during the week, I think, and they're fantastic. And I know she does some other stuff around the place, and then some sound healing at the end, which is always beautiful. Okay. I could sit here and chat to you guys all afternoon. It's beautiful. But thank you so much for joining me, guys. If you have any more questions about pleasure, pain, or want to discuss it some more, let me know. And yeah, so lovely to see you, and thank you for joining me. Mwah. See you all. Bye.